Hello, everyone. 안녕하세요, 여러분. Um, Man, I'm so glad to be back with you all today. God has just been putting a lot on my heart to share with you all, and I'm gonna try to keep this short. It might be a part two. But this video, welcome back to Lord's Love Lessons in Leading. Sorry. This video is about lesson of faith and leadership development. And so this message really blends like my purpose in life regarding faith development, leadership development, because my purpose flows through what I do with my hands, like my profession or whatever. It's all tied into faith, it's all tied into restoration and healing and grace and all the things. And so that's why today's lesson in the Lord's Love Lessons and Leadings is touching on both lessons of faith and in leadership development, because that's really what it is combined. Like, leadership development isn't just like about your career, like it's those who are of faith. I don't care what kind of faith you are, those who are of faith, but those who are of Christian faith, there's leadership development in your faith walk, and those of us who are following after Christ, following after God's own heart, or chasing after God's own heart, like we have to heal first and learn how to lead ourselves in order to be successful fishers of men. Okay, and so today God wanted me to talk about, and I know it's going to be a part two, but He gave me this. It was like, when I do a thing in your life, Deborah, and I hope this resonates with whomever is watching or whatnot, but it was like, whenever I do a thing in your life, it will be done in three parts. And I was like, okay. Like, I swear, like, the trinity of the things is in everything. Like, that relationship, that three-pronged relationship, like, you can find the significance of that and the importance of it, like, in so many things we do in life. So for this, God was like, when I do a thing in your life, I will always do it in three parts. And He said, the first, I will call you. The second, I will sustain you. And the third is, I will prosper you. And He gave me, the example of like Him leading the people out of Israel, Hebrew nation, out of Egypt. Like leading them out of Egypt, like leading them out of captivity. And so, like, God was just like, flashing it through my eyes. We've heard the stories, we know the word, we know the journeys and the history, and things of that nature. And God was like, I called Moses to call a nation to come out of a place of bondage. But most importantly, I called them to have faith that they didn't have to stay in this land. Like, they didn't have to continue to live in this way. So, like, I called them out of bondage, but I called them to a space of faith, a space to start believing that something was better on the other side. I'm like, okay, yes, like, I can see how that definitely applies to my life. And I think that's going to be the next video. I'm going to go through a scenario of this. He was like, next, as I called them, He was like, I sustained them through areas of safety, and also through provision. So the safety piece, how He sustained them, like he opened up the sea, like they were able to get across without no issues. He sustained that nation, that entire nation pretty much, that came out of Egypt. And he led them to a place in the wilderness where He sustained them. And they may have wandered for years, but He was sustaining them. And through this sustainment, He was teaching them consistency. Consistency on His part, and also consistency on their part. Because as we remember, all throughout this process, like, people were like acting a fool sometimes, and not having faith, or woo woo, and that's why certain people couldn't enter into the promised land and all that stuff. But God was also showing them that my word is bond. I'm gonna provide for you every single day. You're gonna have a certain time you eat. You're gonna be able to like clock it by the hour. When manna falls down from heaven, when it goes away, there's always gonna be just enough for each one of you all. So he was showing them consistency in the wilderness. And so it was like, in the place where I sustain you after I call you, Deborah, I'm going to be teaching you a thing. Teaching you how to have faith stay grounded in me, teaching you how to keep your eye and heart before me and watch what I do, the consistency of my faithfulness. But I'm also teaching you how to stay faithful in your heart to me, because I am sustaining you, because I am showing you the same things, because I am manifesting my word like on a timer in your life, and I am providing for you consistently, consistently, consistently. And it's a test, because God will always test our faith, our ability to manage, our ability to reflect and see the revelation. He will test whether or not we're going to desire to grow in strength and grow in faith and grow in responsibility. Are we going to be able to be accountable during the season of sustainment? And like all these things. And so during this period, you will know that only some people will then were able to move to the promised land. And so that's the third part. So when I call you to a place, I will sustain you here. But if you make it through this wilderness, if you make it through this period of sustainment, if you learn the lessons and the truths, and you dig deeper and you become hungrier, and you stay before me and you place your heart before me, then I will take you into a land of prosperity, where then I am giving you abundantly more than you could ever ask or think. To now I am overflowing your coffers. To now I am manifesting, the provisions of Amos 9:13, where blessings upon blessings upon blessings will begin to pour over you, where your head is going to spin. He was like, then I will prosper you, because you have become consistent in your faithfulness, in your trust, in having peace no matter what it looked like, in obedience, in love, and in compassion, and in joy to me. You have drawn near to me, not because somebody told you to, or not because a leader said, follow me here, and you just went, but now you have cultivated an assurance for yourself. And now I can trust you with the big picture. I can trust you to always come back to me. I can trust you to keep your mind and your heart on me. And I can trust you to always testify of my goodness, to lead more people to this place of restoration, of fulfillment, of healing, of blessing, of salvation, of joy, of wisdom, of compassion, of prosperity. And so the next video, I think I'm going to do an example of how God showed up in these 3 ways in my life. But I really want to know how this is resonating with you all, and if you have noticed this pattern in God's relationship with you, that when he calls you, he will call you to a season of sustainment. And if you make it through, if you learn the lessons, you pass the test, he will then usher you into a land of prosperity, into a season of fulfillment, of abundance.